right, meow. And I think it's live. Yep. All right, so I know it's been like a bit longer than I like. So once I post this,
Not 2 years at least.
no, it's only been what, a month. Okay, so just the quick recap. You're inside Rebel's End. For two purposes. Your main mission being to get the key, password, whatever it is that the dwarves need stolen or whatever, however you get it, from Prisoner 13. And then Gunnar has his personal side mission to try to break out Gorm Birtwhistle, who is Prisoner 287. You have the makings of a stomach-turning concoction that'll send somebody to the infirmary. You had a chance to speak to Prisoner 13, who kind of hit on Majesty a little bit.
He gave us a job to do.
She gave you a job to do, yes. You never talked about the password or whatever it is. She's offering you a job for money once you get back to the mainland to make to connect with her contacts. Gunnar noticed that some of the tattoos on her skin seemed to be magical in nature, specifically communication, like long distance sending spell type arcana, which you would
Does
know.
she generally keep these tattoos covered, or is she blatantly?
She's covered in tattoos. The arcane runes and stuff were hard to spot at first because they're mixed in with all the other tribal artwork and whatever it is. So if you're not magically trained, you wouldn't even notice. It just looks like a whole bunch of fancy tribal artwork. But she's covered almost head to toe in them from the skin that you saw when she was out doing monk karate training in the courtyards. But yes, she offered to give you, I don't believe she mentioned a sum, just a large chunk of gold if you managed to get her the warden's ledger.
Have we decided whether or not we're going to tell the warden?
That was discussed, I think, and even though she is like a paladin and lawful good and whatnot,
I thought the warden was a wizard.
Warden is a wizard. Well, yeah, Harper, actually, not paladin. I knew it was some kind of a extra goody aligned thing. I think you came to the conclusion that you'd probably get yourself into more trouble because the dwarves did say they tried to go through the diplomatic channels to get the information from the dwarf.
Does anyone have a dispel magic? We're too low level, aren't we?
No, I think that's first level, isn't it? Or second level?
Dispel?
It might be second.
I thought it was third.
Oh,
Third.
Yeah, okay. It might be, yeah, you're... The tech magic is first. Yeah, dispel might be, yeah, okay. You
I don't
guys are
have it.
level 4, right?
Are we?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So no dispel magic.
We could blackmail her about her runes. Like, we could take that ability away, or we could tell someone about it.
I've got
And
a
they'll take
plan
it.
for that.
Okay, which
So Gunnar's going to call an emergency meeting since we're all sus people here.
Okay.
We are the imposter, we already know. But
Yeah, you guys could get together whenever you want with very little fear of being eavesdropped on because, like in the cafeteria during meals, everyone's just sitting around chatting and it's pretty informal.
Mhm. So one out of question
What
character question. First, do we have, other than physically going out and signaling, do we have any way to communicate with Axebreaker?
You do not.
Okay.
He's on a ship, just far enough offshore to see when you flash lights for pickup.
Okay.
That's all you've got.
I guess I could also ask, did he give any indication as to what the key or passphrase or whatever we are trying to get looks like so we can actually recognize if
He doesn't
telling
know.
the
That's
truth?
the thing. He it's a magically locked door. They're not sure whether it's a passphrase or drawing a symbol in the air or whatever it is. They just need to
Okay.
get it. Whatever it is, they need to get you to get it from Prisoner 13. Or get Prisoner 13 out of the prison. And I remember you were talking about, since she seems very content to stay in here, you were threatening to, don't make us break you out of here unless you tell us.
Yep.
Hmm.
We'll set you free. Don't act like we won't.
Yeah.
You might be 160 feet in the air and free, but
Don't monks have like slow fall or something?
potentially, but also over icy, shark-infested waters. So.
That's true, yeah. Are these icy waters or icy sharks?
Why not both?
You did say icy shark infested waters.
Oh. Icy shark infested icy waters.
There we go.
Okay, so yeah, Gunnar's gonna call a meeting when we all have some free time to discuss a plan.
Okay. So let's just say you're all in the cafeteria together. As such.
So Gunnar kind of leans forward conspiratorially to the assorted cooks and guard and says, "So I have a plan. You see, why am I Bane now?
You need an empty cup to be Bane. I still have to
He
see
does
that
not
movie.
yet have my permission to die. So I saw some runes on her that I think are how she communicates, and I think that could be the solution to getting the information out of her. You see, it would be an awful shame if those runes were to stop working, wouldn't it?"
How do you know how to dispel them?
Well, that is the question. Do any of you know, could we deactivate the runes by disfiguring them?
Make an Arcana check.
Everyone or just him?
Anyone can make the roll, since you did ask the question.
I don't know shit.
Rolled
Fuck.
up. Wow. Well, Majesty figures it out.
By sheer luck.
By sheer luck. Yeah. Maybe that was a girl you dated at one point that had a magic tattoo.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Damn it. The compendium's not working for me tonight for some reason.
Why is someone ringing my doorbell?
That's weird.
Sorry. 1 minute.
That's alright, let me look this up anyway. Because I had looked up something about it.
Good, I'll go pee and get a snack.
Sure, go pee and get a snack. Since you did literally just get home. Dang it. Quicker way to do this. Old school. I do like the spooky music.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Alright, let's see. Okay, well that's all I needed. One tiny little phrase. Let's get back.
Okay, I apologize.
Alright. Well, Majesty knows from a recent or semi-recent entanglement that once the tattoo is inscribed on the skin, defacing it will not impede its ability. Removal of the limb would stop the tattoo from being used, but once it's applied, it's basically instilled into the essence of the person.
What if you shave it off?
According to the Tasha's book, it can't be defaced once it's applied.
So you can't just
Scar it out.
take the whole bit of skin off in a sheet?
Not from what I read. Well, it said defacing. I guess if you take that chunk of arm off, but that's you have to go pretty deep. I think tattoos go pretty deep into the skin.
Okay.
You have to get down into the muscle.
Mm.
I mean, we can try and bluff her. It's just what if she calls our bluff? Then what?
We'll have to have a way of faking it.
Right. Well, I think it's important to mention that you have not actually even talked to her about the vault or the passcode or anything to that effect. So you haven't even started that conversation.
Maybe she'll just give it away freely.
Well, that's the thing. You see, I could be somewhat persuasive once I start talking about removing chunks of your skin or leaving you out to get frostbite. Have you ever seen someone get frostbite?
I've never seen snow bite anyone.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, it's a figure of speech. Well, suffice to say, my people have a bit of a reputation here in Faerun, and it's quite menacing. And I have found that it helps to, well, I will fight if I need, but it helps to bluff your way out of a fight. Seem tougher than you are. Suffice to say, I may be able to persuade her that her life, or rather limb, is in danger. Her fingertips, toe tips, skin.
Now, the way you were able to talk to her is the guards, can volunteer for specific duties during the day, whether it's food delivery duty or, yard exercise duty. So you know how to arrange a relatively easy way to have a conversation. You also remember that every cell is completely enshrouded in anti-magic. And it extends just past the bars. So you can't, if you were disguised self and you happen to lean up too close to the bars, it's going to dissipate at the point where you're touching or getting close. So that also means that her tattoos don't function while she's in her cell, you presume.
Mm.
So anytime that she is making contact with the outside world, it has to be either on latrine duty or during her exercise hour or whatever. But every
Yeah, but
prisoner
exercise
gets,
hour is every day, right? So
Yeah,
she can
everybody
still
gets
pick
a-
whoever.
Yeah, everybody gets an hour outside every day, and the latrine duty shifts between a couple pairs of prisoners every day.
Well, I suggest that Majesty and I sign up for infirmary duty, and if we need to demonstrate our training, we can try.
You also happened to see her in the yard doing her practice stuff, so you get the impression she's a competent monk.
Mhm.
Let's say a not insignificantly leveled competent monk.
Also, it may be best if we have the cooks on call, as it were, as well, should we need to subdue her in the infirmary.
How are we going to get them into the infirmary?
Well, just get a little sick, or claim you're a little sick at the same time.
But how are you going to get the message to us that we're needed at the time?
Gunnar will cast message.
You do have a pair of sending stones
Oh,
that I mentioned multiple
yeah, I forgot about
times
those too.
every single game.
Every game, I forget about the damn things. I think I'm the one that has one of them too. Aren't
Yeah,
I?
I know that one of the cooks had one and one of the guards had one. You guys kept them separate so you could intergroup communicate.
But yeah, Gunnar will just kind of finger gun this message spell to him. Like this!
Just don't say ace them when you do it. Whatever you do.
It was like 2 games.
Yeah, I know, but it was
That's all it takes.
Legendary.
disturbing.
All right, so sending
was
stones can
that
only
the,
be used once per day. Basically,
Yeah, that's
yeah. I didn't realize it was
my-
only one time.
thankfully I have the cantrip.
And each one be used once, or is it once as a pair? Like
Once as
someone
a
sends
pair.
a message,
Yeah, well, each
and then that's it.
yeah, one sends a message, one sends a message back, and then that's
Oh,
it
yeah.
for the day.
Okay.
Oh yeah, messages. Yeah.
What if we don't want a
Cantrip.
message back?
Are you the only one with the message spell? Gunnar?
I'm pretty sure there's more than 1 foot of stone between the.
Oh yeah, good point. This whole building's made out of stone. 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that won't work in here.
Okay, so I guess the sending stones are needed.
All right, so we get her sick, bring her to the infirmary. Gunnar tries to intimidate the answer out of her.
So she's a dwarf, right?
Yep.
Don't dwarves have poison resistance?
Generally, yeah, resistance. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I didn't think of that ahead of time.
Good point.
Well, we can try it anyway. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, resistance just makes you take less damage from it. It doesn't make you not.
Oh yeah,
contract.
that's true. Well, it makes you resistant to the poisoned condition too, I think. Whatever that means. Like you have advantage on saves against the poisoned condition, I think.
This is really strange. Log out, log back in. Yeah, thanks, Roll20.
Ah, yeah, advantage on saving throws against poison and resistance against poison damage.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, make sure you give her an extra dose then.
That's why.
But yeah, but we also don't want to kill her.
Mhm.
7 of them?
Well, hi, isn't that why we were gonna put the whatchamacallit in her food?
Well, that's what they're saying, is it may not have the...
I'm just saying it might not be effective like we thought it would if she's a dwarf. Maybe it will. We can still do it.
It's not poison necessarily. It's more of a
Or is-
laxative, you know.
Right, but I mean, by D&D standards or whatever, it's a poison.
I mean, I guess technicalities.
So what's the plan? Put it in her food. Get her to the infirmary. And
Are
then,
there, are there
and then just for
some
questioning,
way-
because you can just question her in the yard.
6 more just like him?
But you have
Question
other
her in
guards
the yard,
around.
but yeah, well, and plus she's not going to give us the answer.
What?
Not until we give her what she wants. But in the infirmary, we can threaten to literally cut the rune out of her.
Is that what? Because you can get her alone. Right. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now
We
the
could try
problem is how do we know she's telling the truth if we do get an answer?
We're gonna have to watch her reaction.
So, between me and Tegan, who's going to be the one that fakes illness to get to the infirmary?
I suppose it would be suspicious if you both did, unless you were
Yeah, that's probably not a good idea.
tasting the same food.
Exactly.
That might still look suspicious, though.
It may
Get
happen.
get
depending
someone
on-
else in the kitchen sick.
Exactly, depending on how many
Yeah, we got-
people, drank the Kool-Aid.
Then when they get them into the infirmary, we can just knock them out or something. I don't know.
Well, you probably just need one of you to get sick, and the other can claim that you need to take them there.
Absolutely.
Oh, that could work.
Oh yeah. Here, Big Blue, have this piece of chocolate.
Another question or two. I have heard that there are spells for determining the truth, whether someone is telling the truth. Does any of you have that spell?
Yes. Does any of you have that spell? And I kind of intently look around the group.
Charm person?
Perhaps that would work.
Zone of Truth, I think, is a 3rd level spell too.
No. Really, I thought it was 2nd. That might not be a bard spell.
You would
I
think
remember
it would be.
I had it in Nate's game on the Paladin, and I think it was 3rd level.
Right, that's a paladin. What
'Cause-
made you think
'cause
having a
that-
party of bards was a good idea?
Because that would sound like a bard spell, for sure. Anything
Oh,
charisma
it is.
based, or I would think. No? Yes? Maybe?
Yeah, it's 2nd, and it is on the bard list as well as cleric and paladin.
Just nobody took it.
Why would anyone
Well-
want to know the truth?
Now, I remember
Why
Bards
would
are
any
all
of
about
us want
lies.
to?
you had
Why would any of us want to tell the truth?
you had also discussed using Majesty's create object ability to make a fake ledger and try to pawn it off as the one that you stole from the warden.
Now, would the anti-magic field make it disappear?
You would assume it would. So if you made that kind of exchange, you'd have to do it and get the information you want before she gets taken back to her cell and realizes that she's been duped. And then
Right.
you,
Well, I mean,
and then of course you run the risk that she's willing to talk to the guards, and whether or not they even believe her.
By then, any book that Majesty has conjured up would be gone. so
Right.
they're
Well,
not-
it would disappear when she walked into the cell, more than likely.
and it's obviously magical.
Right.
The warden is a wizard. Yeah, of course it's going to be a magical ledger.
Yeah, it would take a persuasion roll, but I mean, if there's one thing this group has in abundance, it's persuasion.
So, I do have command. So, what would a one-word command be for speak truthfully, tell the truth,
Ooh.
don't lie, honesty?
Confess.
Is there a section of the prison where like the regular prisoners go to be disciplined? Like if something happens like really bad, like the whole
Like the whole. No, I don't believe there is. Yeah, I don't see anything like that on here. I don't believe there is.
Okay.
Majesty would love being taken to the hole.
No. That's the wrong hole.
He takes us to the hole every night.
Take it to the hole. Gross.
Take it to the limit.
Well, another spell. Does anyone have a spell that can make things quieter in case? I'm imagining we may need to subdue her, and that may be.
Now that spell
Poison.
I have.
Which one?
Silence!
Oh, silence.
I kill you!
Is she using the treasure to bankroll her criminal empire? Did we determine that,
I
or
don't know if you determined that or not.
With what she's offering us, it's pretty likely.
let's just go ask her.
All right. So you want to wait till like the next day and another out in the yard moment?
Ask her what?
To not
Just ask her
be
straight up.
the splits in front of you.
You can't. She won't. She's gonna do that anyway. Just ask her straight up if about the vault. I believe is what he's getting at.
Yep.
Well, why would she tell us?
What are they gonna do to her?
Throw her in jail. Oh wait.
I mean, you already planned on threatening her, so
It's a bit easier to threaten her in a room without other guards and close to the exit. With a 160-foot drop down to icy shark-infested waters.
yeah. But she's a prisoner in a prison, and you're a guard. Guards intimidate people all the time.
Intimidation's kind of a one-way street too. Once you start down that road, you can't backtrack.
Yeah.
That is true. Well,
Says the voice in
And
your
I-
head, I guess.
And I don't think it's going to be worth it to try and
I
talk
always-
to her woman to woman.
I always
because she's
think of
not
it-
a feminine woman.
I think of intimidation in terms of 4th edition. It was the only skill in a skill challenge that counted as a success and a failure. because you might get a step closer to your goal, but you have damaged the relationship with the person that you're communicating with.
Alright, I'll threaten to cut a bitch, and then you can come in and rescue her.
Oh, good cop, bad cop. Good cook, bad guard. No, good guard, bad cook.
Something like that.
Something, yeah.
Well, that is a point. Say, Majesty, do you have... Oh, you,
No, I don't have silence, if that's what you're asking. I like to hear the noise.
More of the... Gunnar mutters, I'm surprised that you don't.
Just because we like to hear the noise doesn't mean we want everybody else to hear the noise.
Maybe I do.
You need a silent spell that's like a donut. The middle spot is not silent, and then everything. It's
Right?
Majesty creates a custom silent spell.
No, it's that
It'll be
It'll be
that thing they had in
special
Get,
silence.
that thing they had in Get Smart.
Yeah.
It was like a glass dome or something that came.
Yes.
Cone of silence.
Yeah.
No, I was going to ask about being more, magically charming, actually.
Yes. Of course I have that. But once you use it, they know you've used it.
Kind of the
She's
same as
already-
the
she's-
intimidation idea.
she's already
use it for the most
semi-into you,
important
so-
conversation.
Maybe I should use it.
It's gonna be harder for you to get to where she is. Well, the infirmary trick.
That's also true.
I mean, I have Charm Person. But if she makes her save, then we're shit out of luck. And would she tell the password to a friendly acquaintance?
No, but
something
she'd
that
go,
high
"Look
security.
up."
You'd have to be a pretty
Yeah.
friendly acquaintance.
Pillow talk.
I mean, we could just straight up bargain with her.
Yeah, but we're gonna offer things that we don't have. Not that she knows we don't have that, but
Right. And what's his name probably already went that route. He said he tried diplomatic means, so.
Well, that was more with the wizard rather than 13. But
so we lie to her and we'll tell her, yeah, we'll come back and get you.
Yeah, you don't. As far as you know, the dwarves haven't had a chance to actually speak to Prisoner 13.
that said, I doubt there is anything we could give her that would be worth the key to the vault.
Aside from the ledger.
If that's the case, then you would assume that the ledger must have something pretty valuable in it if she'd be willing to trade that one for the other.
So do we not want to blow our cover to the warden yet then?
How does the warden get fed?
From the cooks.
Yeah, but does he come all the way down to the dining hall and eat, or does somebody bring it up to
They
him?
bring it up to her room.
And is it a volunteer service like everything else, or
I'll
or is there a designated, trusted guard that does it, or assistant, valet?
It's not a valet, but I would say that there's one guard that always does the route that she trusts, and then there's a second guard usually carrying everything that you could volunteer for, but you wouldn't both be able to go.
You make them sick.
There's a separate menu, I guess. There's a slightly higher quality of food kept set aside. You guys have been cooking long enough to know that the warden and the 2 Absolution Council members that are on hand get slightly higher grade meals than the rest of the staff.
Prisoners get really dry bread and some broth.
Yep. And the guards.
You don't know what kind of broth it is. It's just whatever bones or meat they toss into the kettle.
Right. And then the guards and the regular staff eats okay. They don't eat like gruel, but they don't get that fresh pheasant or whatever it is that the fancier folks get. You do know, you cook folks, that there is a special reserve of alcohol that goes up with the warden's meal that the rest of the staff is not allowed to mess with.
It's prisoner 13, right?
Yes. So the warden does apparently have a bit of a alcohol tooth. I don't know what the phrase would be.
Alcohol tooth?
It's like a sweet tooth, but for alcohol.
He's an alcoholic.
Maybe, but it's not like all day. It's like the evening meal always has an extra tankard.
What level is this map on?
You're on the first level.
No. I mean, in Roll20.
Oh, it's on the map level. Why? What do you mean?
Oh, I tried to label the cell, but it's underneath the map.
Oh, weird. Well, maybe you can't see it because you're not at.
Oh, all right, it's in darkness. That's why.
Yeah,
Never mind then.
because it's in explorer mode.
First cell is this one, right?
Got something over the top of it. Hold on. Yes. Yep.
All right.
You're actually picking right on top of her.
And she likes it.
Oh yeah.
And she says more.
She likes the attention.
Oh boy.
She's like, you haven't seen all of my tattoos yet.
Would you like to?
All right, so we could bargain with her, or we could intimidate her. We could try to charm her. We could try to get the actual ledger and bargain with her once we have it. We could pretend to have a fake ledger and try to bargain with her with that. What else? What other ideas do we have? Offer her a favor on the outside. Tell us the code, and we'll perform a favor for you when we get back to civilization.
Yeah, you won't know until you.
Is Jay talking or?
To it. I don't think so.
Oh, I saw her moving her lips.
Oh.
So
Jared's in the room too, so.
Oh, all right.
Or push to talk's not working. EJ, you lost your thing. It looks like. Did you mess up with your? Oh.
Ta-da!
Hey. All right.
I said we could try that option, but I'm a little bit sketched out as to what she might have us do once we get out.
Well, nothing says we have to go through with it.
I mean,
Yeah. That's
What?
true.
You guys
Once we-
lie? Bard's lying? What?
Once we have what we
Unheard
want,
of.
Unheard of. Preposterous.
though, I just realized something. If she has a way of making sure that we do what she wanted her to do. If you're like, yeah, I'll tell you the code, but once you do my favor, and I'll send it to you in ascending. Because she has the tattoo.
Yeah, she probably would find a way to make us do her task.
I mean, we have a task right now to get the ledger.
Yeah.
It's not a prisoner. I can imagine getting a book out of the warden's office is easier than getting a prisoner out of the warden's office. Or a prisoner out of the... Well, I'm going to shut up right now because,
As
you know,
guards,
that other side quest that we have...
yeah, I know. As guards, you guys have been up the tower. You've been into that central chamber and up a floor into the barracks. And you presume that the warden's office continues up the spiral staircase past the barracks level. You haven't actually been that high up. But what I'm saying is you can get into the central tower relatively easy, but then once you get to whatever floor the warden's office is on, you have no idea what you're going to run into.
Well, I doubt the ledger or anything else would be valuable enough to her to give up the key to, well, infinite wealth.
Not necessarily infinite. You know that you're supposed to be getting a percentage of it if you succeed this mission.
Right. But very great wealth.
Potentially. Right. So
Well, here's another one. Hard to think of how to describe spells in character.
use the name of the spell, because they would have names.
Okay. Probably very flowery names, and the names might vary from person to person, but,
Roll 20 starts.
well, suggestion. Can any of you make suggestions to her that she can't refuse?
The second level?
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about magical suggestions? I mean, I can suggest things
Yeah.
and be persuasive.
Yeah, he means the spell.
I know, my character doesn't know that that's what he meant.
Magical, I mean. I can't link it, but it's in the compendium.
And you coerce her.
I mean, not magically, but verbally I probably could.
Magically, I could just command her to do something.
Yeah, but it has to be one word.
Yeah, out of character suggestion basically lets you do it with a sentence or two.
He gets a wisdom save, right? She's
Yeah.
a monk,
I think
so
yeah.
Do we have an eloquence bard?
Yep. But she's one of your cooks.
Ah, right. So we at least have that trick, but
Problem is you can't get your eloquence bard like out into the courtyard or whatever if you wanted to have just a casual conversation with her. Unless you can come up with some weird way to get her not in the magic field and not outside, but somewhere else in the building. Well, infirmary. Duh. This is one of those, Jamie, I feel your pain.
yeah, because I see where the
Time.
because now I just want to walk up to her and just say, "We need the code. What do you want for it?"
Yeah, this is one of those wickedly
Why not? Do it that
overthinking
way.
heists.
well, I think
You can do it that way, and then we have other options if she's uncooperative.
I mean, what's the worst that happens if you tell her what you're here for?
She says no, like she has before.
She tells on you, and then it's your word against hers.
And we're pretty convincing, and she's a prisoner.
You just have to make her believe that you have something she wants.
We do. Majesty.
And we'll toss in him for extra.
Yeah.
Like that movie Indecent Proposal. You give us what we want, you can have one night with Majesty.
Conjugal visit. Yay!
Definitely casting silence on that room.
All right. So, would you like to
No, not at all.
catch her in the courtyard at some point, or do you want to go on to the infirmary?
How about we feed her? Well, she's inside,
Okay, so
and we
tomorrow's
just
dinner-
we just
Talk through the cell.
talked through the cell. We're like, hey, we're really here for
Okay.
the password.
You know from the previous time that you did that you can get away with maybe 15 minutes of conversation before the guards start wondering why you're lingering around the cell.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. So we can assume
it's not going to take 15 minutes to make an offer.
true. All right. So we can go through you go through the motions of finishing up your chores for this particular day, whatever. And then
no laxative today then. Got it.
when the evening meal time rolls around, and you volunteer for that wing of the hexagon, pentathlon, whatever it's called, the
Dodecahedron.
the name of the panopticon. That's the word I was looking for. It's the actual word for this type of a cell
I'm
block.
pretty sure that's a Chuck Norris movie.
It might be, but that's what these style of prisons are called. I think Guardians of the Galaxy had a prison similar to this, the first one, with the guard tower right in the middle and all the cells around the outside edge. It's called
At the
the
beginning of the movie.
Yep. And one of the Riddick movies did that too. Must be a pretty commonly used prison
Yeah,
layout.
I'd say. I think it was Jeremy Bentham suggested it in the 1700s, and it's been used since.
Yeah.
He was a criminology sort of guy.
Okay. So the two of you grab your plate of non-laxatived food, and you head to the outside of cell block 13, or the prisoner 13 cell block. So I'm going to move you up to there.
Oh, look, 213s.
Yep.
Now, I do have a suggestion before we talk. How we phrase this may be important. You see, we could tell her that we heard from some sources that there's a better opportunity than what she's offering to pay us for the ledger.
Weird. I can't break anything out without the game crashing.
I don't know about that.
Just saying, we don't have to tell her that that's why we're here.
Yes, but
We happened to hear about it.
the best lie has a bit of truth in it, though.
Wait,
Well,
she-
are you going to... I presume you're going to take the lead on this?
Unless you want to.
No, I imagine you're a little more persuasive without threatening cutting things off or frostbite.
You go with that snow at eating people. You must come from a really strange land.
Well, yes, the land right outside here.
The frost is animated. It bites.
Well, have you thought about how you're going to
Lost bites.
get your friend out of here?
With sharp teeth, dear.
Well, kind of the same way, except we actually leave with a bit of floating.
So wouldn't it be better if we saved the poison for him?
We have enough for... Do we not have enough for both of them?
The only reason that we would poison her necessarily is to get her into the infirmary where more than two of us could talk to her. If we really want to get this guy out, we're gonna have to get him out the same day he's in the infirmary. Because there will not be another chance, I don't think.
I think if multiple people come down with sicknesses on multiple days, that's going to raise suspicion in the facility too.
Not if it's indiscriminate.
That's true.
Actually, we don't.
But
We
then,
don't need your poison. Just
Well, that
you know,
and it,
not poison the food, but spoil the food.
that and at that point it doesn't really matter. We're leaving, so that day that we presumably would poison Gorm, so
Add a little hepatitis to the broth.
So I showed you this one before, but this is kind of when you approach the cell, and she sees that it's you two. She definitely comes right up to the bars. She kind of eyes Majesty up and down and says, "So, did you get me my ledger?"
Not yet, but
Disappointing.
we've decided to be somewhat honest with you.
She cocks an eyebrow, but you don't notice surprise, just interest. Oh, really?
Yes.
You have a counteroffer? What do you want?
Do we
are
know
you?
it's a code or a word or
You don't really
What
know
did-
at this point.
what did he call it when he asked for it?
It's a magical lock. He just needs the
All right. The way to open
the
it.
way to open it, the passphrase, whatever.
All right. We need a passphrase that we know you have for a magical lock. And as I say that, I want to roll. Well, I'd like to roll insight to see if she's connecting the dots. Like she knows the lock I'm talking about.
I would like an insight. I would also like a perception
All right.
from both
So-
of you.
well,
Together, that would be an inception.
Yes. Yes. All right.
okay.
Oh. Ooh. All right. Gunner's insight.
Gunnar, you're a sucky bard.
Jamie's rolling way better than usual tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably gonna die tomorrow.
No.
Majesty's just gonna get knocked off the tower.
All right. So she says, and every indication indicates that she's not lying to you from what you can read. She says, a passphrase? I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about. However,
Is she lying?
Majesty,
Oh.
you can't tell.
Yep.
If she's lying, she's a damn good liar. But you notice unconsciously her right index finger starts tracing a pattern on her left arm as she denies knowing what you're talking about.
Does it follow the pattern of a tattoo that's there, or
It does, in fact.
Just take a picture of it.
Yeah, there you go. Just pull out your cell phone.
No, I have another idea what it is, but we're in the middle of a conversation that I don't want to turn to Gunner and say, "Hey, you don't know what I'm talking about?"
Who, me?
No, Prisoner 13.
Oh. No, she says, I'm afraid not. Would you like to elaborate, perhaps?
I
What
do
was the-
have
Go ahead.
something you might remember is that Gunnar could cast message if you did the Dalavash signal.
I don't know what the Dalavash thing is.
True.
Yeah, you do it. So we set up a little signal when someone
Oh.
wants to talk.
Oh, yeah.
Dalavash is like, all right, what is it?
What's the name of the guy that hired us?
Varen, I believe.
Baron.
Axe breaker? Or axe? Yeah, Baron.
Do you know Baron Axebreaker?
Make an insight roll. As she says, never heard of him. No. She seems to be telling the truth from what you rolled.
Is anything happening?
Besides you sliding the food to her as she's kind of looking at it and talking to you?
Yep.
You glance around the room and there are other guards feeding other prisoners. The guy in the next cell block starts his head. Hey, where's mine?
I motion the gunner to keep handing out stuff.
Get over there.
Okay, I'll go and bring it over there.
So do the guards wait until the prisoners are done and then collect all the stuff, or they just drop it off?
Usually they drop it off and they go and they circle back around and they pick it up.
All right.
And you're thinking you're about to that point where you're probably going to start arousing suspicion.
All right. I'll just kind of like do I'll see you tomorrow then, and walk away.
All right. I'll see you tomorrow.
And then finish the rounds of meals.
Okay. Are you gonna come back and do the plate collector?
Yeah.
Okay. So you go and you wait the requisite 30 minutes or whatever. And when you circle back around to grab the tray, she's standing right by the door again. Even though the tray's already been slid out of the little food grate, she's still standing right there. She says, "Hey, psst. You mentioned something about a key? You know." She kind of looks around as if there's anybody listening in. And then she raises an eyebrow, leans in real conspiratorially like. She says, "I might know something about a key, but I still need to see that ledger."
How do I know the key that you know about is the key that I'm looking for?
Well, you don't. Let's just say there's a lot of money on the other side of that door. She kind of winks at you and then she turns around and walks to the back of the cell.
All right. I finished the job collecting plates.
Okay. You did notice, because you made it before, so I would say you'd be looking at it or looking for it. She kind of, again, unconsciously touches her right arm when she mentions the gold behind the door. It seems to be subconscious, like she doesn't see she's doing it.
Is it the same pattern?
It's the same pattern, yep.
All right. When I'm alone with Gunnar, and since he's the one that brought up the tattoos, Gunnar, did you see her trace a pattern on her arm?
Oh, I didn't, did she?
Yes, and I motion like as best I can the same motion.
Okay. Give me an Arcana roll.
How about performance?
It's Arcana to recognize the patterning of the symbol. Now you have a very basic, rough idea.
Okay, so now I have a question that I can't ask until we sit down to dinner.
Right. You can get back together again pretty quickly that night if you want.
I just want to see if the pattern syncs up with her sending tattoo.
Uh,
Don't tell
Her
me
sending
if we
tattoo
didn't
is out.
make the roll.
no.
Is-
Okay. There's a roll that you need to accurately recreate it, but with that roll, I will say, you have enough of an idea that it's not tied to sending.
All right. I thought that might be how she activates her tattoo.
Was she tracing her tattoo, or is this just a spell gesture?
No, I think she was doing it subconsciously because she did it both times that door came up in conversation.
But was it a...
No. Think it's that simple, do you?
Well,
Are we together yet?
Yeah. You can be all together at this point. You get back together to reconvene.
was it? Was she tracing along a tattoo, or...
Yeah, as far as you could tell, it was. Yeah.
Okay.
It was like not the entire tattoo. Like the whole arm is just this big fancy tribal design.
Mm.
She was tracing
Right.
a specific part of it.
Route.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Okay,
the
well-
question is, do we just need the arm, or do we just need the gesture?
What if it is that simple? Okay, bear with me for a second here. We might not need her or the passcode. If she's absent-mindedly tracing it, that means that tattoo has something to do with it. So, you've seen her, you know what she looks like, you've seen the tattoo, right?
Yes.
You'd need to get a really
see?
good look at it. It's an intricate pattern. It's not like a simple, like a triangle with a square through it or something like that. It's
Well, no, we don't have to try. What about silent image of her? The spell.
yeah. I don't think the silent image is just going to duplicate somebody that you can see down to that level of detail.
It's also a big risk is if we make the assumption that that's what it is and we leave and it isn't. We can't. I don't think you can really come back.
Try to get back in. You'd have to wait a month, sign up for a second tour.
Well, anyways, she made the same deal. She'll tell us the passphrase for the ledger. She really wants this ledger.
The question is, do we fake it, or do we get her the real thing?
Well, if we fake it, I can create a GM's discretion. I can make a book, but can I fill it with like erroneous, writing?
Yeah, see that I thought about that when you first suggested it. I think you could create it that would have
What I think a
what you
ledger would look like.
Yeah, exactly. It would be Majesty's impression of what a ledger would look like. It wouldn't actually be. It probably wouldn't be, accurate to an actual prison ledger. It would just be your interpretation.
But I am proficient in a forgery kit, so I'm guessing I would know what official documents look like.
Somewhat.
And we don't even think she's seen the warden's ledger anyway, so
That's
I don't think she
true.
knows what it looks like.
But you think once she opens it up and takes more than a cursory look through it, she should probably figure it out. It's
She's not going to open it up in the yard.
You would hope.
All right.
It's kind of like when you
So-
have that
so there's-
the heist movie where you've got a wad of blank pieces of paper, but there's $100 bill on the top and bottom, so the criminals look and go, "Aha!" and think they've got a whole wad of bills.
Yep. So there's that, and then the book will only exist for 2 hours.
And once she walks through her cell door, it's gone.
Yeah. Or that. 2 hours or that.
Mhm.
And it will be obviously magical. It won't look like a normal book.
Mhm.
And when she touches it, she'll hear a tune. Which the warden's a wizard, so why wouldn't the warden have a magical ledger?
You could use that as part of your persuasion
If
roll when you're trying to convince her that it's the real
she
legend.
asks, yeah.
Well, if you saw the actual ledger, could you recreate it with this?
DM?
Not down to the exact, however many pages he gets a chance to look at, he could recreate. But it wouldn't be the whole book.
But with the actor feat, we could.
I'm still thinking performance because like you got to memorize lines, you got to memorize lyrics,
yeah.
you got to repeat the same pattern, the same dance, the same.
Whoops.
That is a reasonable use of the skill.
Well, we were trying to determine, and we were not sure what the pattern on that. I guess what spell that tattoo did, or what it was. Can you recreate it?
I think so. If I actively observe it, probably.
You need a little bit of time to actually study it.
Study the tattoo or study her doing the motion?
You need roughly 10 minutes of study of the tattoo to be able to recreate it.
Okay. Well, I mean, she's half naked when she's in the exercise yard.
That is true.
And I'm pretty sure they've seen enough of her, but now the next time they go out with her, they can focus on her right arm.
Why can't this be modern? Why there can't be a photo of her?
Yeah, I know, right?
That's that tattoo right there.
Like I'm saying, that's what silent image is for. You've seen her, you can create that image
Right.
of her.
Right, but the thing with silent image is I don't think it's like magic just creates an exact duplicate of what it is you're trying to create. It's more of what you are imagining
Yeah,
that you're making.
I think that's what it is.
So he could make an image that looks like her, but the tattoos wouldn't be the same.
That's the same thing with the book.
What if it's only the pattern of the tattoo? And not physically her?
If he spends the time and is able to study the tattoo, then he could use silent image to recreate it.
Exactly.
But I don't have silent
that
image.
was
well, then you would need to study the tattoo.
Well, you could create a sheet of paper with the pattern.
Ooh. For 2 hours.
Well, I only want.
And then make a silent image off of that.
I ask because I wonder if the others could lend their expertise on magic, and particularly I'm wondering if it's just a spell she's casting and we don't need the tattoo itself, and anyone could use that pattern and open the vault, or we need her arm.
I feel like it's not the tattoo. Because that'd be very specific to her.
Mm-hmm.
And the door.
And if we have to say something in her voice or whatever, well, you've
Especially-
probably got that already down for the actor.
Especially if someone else is accessing the money while she's in here. It couldn't be her arm that needs to be present to open the door.
Right, but it could just be the pattern.
Yeah. But we don't know if it's the whole pattern. We don't even know if it's the pattern.
But part of it is. Otherwise, she wouldn't have subconsciously rubbed the exact pattern on her arm.
At that point, the chiming of the clock inside the tower to let guards know it's shift change and nighttime and all that other stuff. Basically signaling that it's sundown outside, lights out for the prisoners, that sort of thing. And so this day technically comes to a close, although you can stay and keep chatting after dark. The common area does get a little bit busier because the guards that are coming off duty come to get some food.
Before we separate and go to bed, probably determine if we actually want to go for the ledger or try the fake route.
So, when we don't have anyone with the suggestion spell?
Doesn't sound like it. No one's spoken up.
Okay.
Probably Nate or Doug.
Probably.
I don't know why Roll20's fucking up tonight.
What
Well,
was
I
the
could have
question?
it
I
open
was
somewhere
talking to
else.
Jared.
If anyone has suggestion.
Oh, yeah, no.
So what are you volunteering for the next day? What's your plan?
Exercise yard.
Okay. So if we have no more discussions, we can feed forward to that moment when you get a chance to speak to her again.
I don't want to speak to her yet. I want to study the tattoo.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. When you know that she gets out there and poses and does her fancy martial art practicing and training. All right. So if there's no objections, I'm just gonna move you outside. Move her outside. And let's pick some random prisoners. We'll have this guy. And this guy.
Well, if we can't find out this pattern on our own, then
This guy.
I suggest we try the implied violence route as the simplest and fastest way.
That's all you, pal.
Seems to be suddenly Gunner's main choice is violence.
Not actual violence, just threatening
This
violence.
escalated quickly. All right. So you and a handful of other guards escort a selection of randomly selected prisoners. And you manage to randomly select prisoner 13. And again, she sees you two, and she smiles, but doesn't say anything because there's other guards around and whatnot. And you get out into the courtyard, and even though it's cold out, there's some protections around the inside of this courtyard to keep it above 0 degrees, and so she doesn't have a problem getting down to just the bare minimums as she's doing her practices, even though her puffs of breath are going out into the, you can tell it's cold, but there's some kind of body control or something going on with her monk status that the cold doesn't seem to affect her very much. And if you, Majesty, want to point out to Gunnar the tattoos he should be looking at, I would like you to make a deception roll to keep her from noticing.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Damn.
Shit!
Yeah.
And I'm the one who has the silver tongue feet.
I mean, her passive perception is not bad, but it's not that good. So she is semi-oblivious, as you point out to Gunnar, the pattern on her right forearm that she seems to unconsciously touch, rub, or otherwise outline whenever she mentioned the door. Now, you both can make an Arcana check as you spend a half an hour out here just kind of watching her do the stuff.
Before we do that,
Yep.
We should trade inspiration.
I was just looking at that.
All right.
Like, are you sure you haven't seen anything like this in your past, Gunnar?
Well, I'll think about it.
This is your world.
I've seen a few things.
I
And,
inspire you.
Yeah, have I ever told you what a great bard you are? Hey, you know what? You too, man. You too. Are you inspiring each other back to back?
Put your tongue to mine.
It does a weird thing for Gunnar though when you inspire, I believe.
That's if I choose it to.
The little mote of whatever it is.
I think so. Yeah, that has a separate effect.
Okay.
I mean, I have regular bardic inspiration.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to do the.
Oh no, you're right. Whenever I give a creature a bardic inspiration, you can utter a note.
Okay, if you
So,
choose
yeah,
not to, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just gonna be a regular.
Okay. And they're D6s at this level still, I believe. So go ahead, you can both make an Arcana check as you spend a good 30 minutes just kind of watching as she unknowingly, proudly displays her tattoos.
So Gunnar's inspiration, he's going to kind of clap Majesty on the shoulder and say, "Well, I've seen, it must be uncomfortable wearing that armor. It's hard to get used to, but if you can do that, I think you can, you've done it well. I think you can do that. Yeah?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you betcha.
Give me that Arcana roll there, Gunnar. Oh, look at that. That's good because Majesty missed it by 1.
Yeah. What?
And that's 6.
It's good because I rolled a 1. Son of a bitch.
So, all right. With that roll, I will not only allow you to be able to recreate the design whenever you get your hands on a piece of paper and a pen, but also you recognize that it's not necessarily tied to a spell. It's more in the style of like a glyph, like the kind of glyph you'd see on a glyph of warding or a it's not a spell. This is not a remote telepathy spell thingy. It very much could be something that would be used as a complex design for an arcane lock.
Told you.
Damn, with a 22 and a 6.
Yeah, that went well.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're done here.
Well, you know, my whole skill is memorizing long stretches of words.
So for another
Or patterns.
another 30 minutes before you have to bring the prisoners in, and with that roll, you look at it, you turn away, you imagine it, you trace it in your mind, you look back at her to make sure that what you just imagined is the same. You rehash it 3 or 4 more times to make sure you got it exactly right in your head. You create a little mnemonic device or something to remember the patterning, and then you and the rest of the guards escort the prisoners back into their cells.
King Snorri went down to the fjord, and then he fished himself a herring.
Yeah, that. I'm putting these guys at random cells because I can't remember where I took them from. Oops. All right, and then yeah. So,
Right.
without making you
Gun-
dig up stuff, I'm sure somebody has a quill and parchment somewhere.
Gunner's got the symbol.
Well, we may want to. I wonder if there is some way we can get this to them without us going out so that we can be sure it was. In case it doesn't work, we're still in here and have some way of, well, talking more.
Yeah, I don't think you would be able to, because you can't, like with a sending spell, you can't describe an intricate symbol like this. And you can't send images. It's not like texting someone a photo or something.
No, but I suppose we could ask them if they remember the tattoos that she has on her arm.
Well, they haven't actually seen her. Not in a while.
Have you seen any ravens about? You know, they say ravens are the messengers of Odin.
Of who?
Yeah, right.
Oh, one of the local gods. But,
I think I met him in a bar once.
well,
Yeah,
if you did,
Gunner, actually. Wait, no.
I mean, we do come from Sigil.
Yeah, right.
well, if you did, then, well, he does take many names and many forms, and also you should consider yourself lucky that you're not dead yet.
Gods don't have power in Sigil, so
That's true.
Good point. I'm sure he could still beat you to a pulp, though.
if it was him,
Yeah, he's got anger issues.
Big guy, eye patch,
Raven on his shoulder,
raven on his shoulder.
2 ravens on his shoulders.
Oh, dude, you're making me want to play God of War Ragnarok again.
But then one of them
Their
would-
Odin was the best representation of Odin I've ever seen.
You already beat that.
It was so
and
good.
He was a huge drunk, though, wasn't he?
No, Thor was the
No,
drunk.
that was Thor.
So I'm sorry to interpose here, but
Mm-hmm.
in the Shadowrun game,
Mm-hmm.
Jim's character was a Norse shaman who followed Odin,
Okay.
and he had that magical raven, which was Odin's ravens were
Yeah,
memory and thought.
Yeah.
The magical raven
They show up in
was thought,
the game.
but he also knew. Well, he didn't know. There was somebody in the game that was actually a representation of memory, which was Tony's character.
Oh.
That's why the two of him and the Raven got along so well.
Oh, wow. I never would have caught that. That's cool. No,
Well, we didn't play that. We didn't play long enough, so
I'm gonna find a cutscene
Didn't
from
re-
Ragnarok and post it somewhere in Discord so you can see. It's a famous actor that plays Odin, and they modeled him after him and everything, and his mannerisms and stuff. He's such a jerk, but he did that role so well. I loved their take on the Norse mythology, and it was funny because I played that, and then I played Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which also did the whole Norse mythology, same characters, same mythos, right down to the dwarves that forged Mjolnir and all that stuff, but completely different takes on the characters. But so fun to play back to back. It was weird.
And then there's WoW.
And then there's WoW. Well, yeah, that's not trying to stick to the canon though.
But yeah.
Both of those were trying to stick as close to actual Norse canon as possible, but in such different ways. Very, very cool. But that's neither here nor there.
But yeah, I was going to say, sometimes he doesn't have 2 ravens. Sometimes one of them is an amnesiac human.
All right. So you have an intricate
Well,
traced arcane sigil.
if we can find a raven, I can perhaps persuade them to carry a sheet of parchment back to our employers.
Can you control animals?
No, animal
That
friendship.
far away?
I can speak with
Speak with
animals.
animals.
Hmm.
I have it as well.
You know, or you have a theory that if you did get it to them, it could be a matter of weeks before you'd get confirmation that it worked.
Yeah,
So
and they're in
how long-
position.
Yeah,
They're in position to pick us up. So
right. So in order to
they would have to leave that position, go check it out, and then come back.
and then come back, yep. So you wouldn't know when they're back in position to pick you up.
We need a detect thought spell or something.
Too bad we didn't get
Or we just
tadpoles in our heads.
need to take a really big swing, and like, yep, this is it. Only to find out it isn't.
Kind of like the spear we stole. It was the wrong spear.
yeah.
Oh.
They pulled the
damn.
old Egyptian fake tomb on you.
And we fell for it.
Yep. Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah. That's hilarious. It wasn't that coming back around to our second group in some weird way.
Yes, because you were supposed to keep it out of the hands of the orc
Yeah.
army that was coming.
Yep. Instead, we probably helped them to find it.
Whoop.
I like
Oh,
the
I
evil
mean,
there.
you left it there, so.
Yeah.
Those games were fun.
All right. So,
Yeah, actually,
we have the symbol.
You do.
We still gotta. What about this prisoner that you have business with?
You've spoken to him, right? But not as Gunner.
Correct.
Okay, that's what I thought. I didn't go back and watch it. I couldn't find that part.
So is Majesty going to volunteer to take the warden's food up to her now too?
Don't need to now. Unless you want
I mean, unless you want to take a look at that ledger.
Well, if the symbol's what you need, then
Yeah, that's
Legend's
if we
pointless.
wanna take a big.
That's a pretty big leap, but I'm also pretty sure of it.
I'm not convinced.
I mean, Jeremy can be a dick DM, but like, I'm
What?
pretty sure.
What?
What?
me,
That's metagaming.
me.
Besides, this is a pre-written adventure.
True.
Oh, so it's simple. Yep, that's totally it.
They have
That's
a
not really what I meant.
they have a whole section at the beginning of the book on how to change it up. I haven't done the evil thing of having a rival team showing up and beating you to the punch yet.
No.
That's one of the options.
Actually, for being a written one, that's just part 1 of the sigil. You have to figure out what part 2 is.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Somewhere else
Man, I
on her
wanna-
person.
Have you read about the adventure coming out in May, Jamie, the Vecna one?
I am aware of it, and that's all my knowledge is.
Do you know that it goes to Ravenloft and Planescape and Greyhawk and Spelljammer and Dragonlance as you chase
Nope.
down the Rod of Seven Parts? And Eberron goes to Eberron too.
Wasn't there already a published adventure about the Rod of Seven
I
Parts? or
believe
is
there
that
was
just
in 3rd edition. This is supposed to celebrate the 50 years of D&D because it's coming out on the anniversary. So they're trying to touch on as many of the published settings as they can in one book. Sounds exciting. Starts at level 10.
It's only because it's
Starts at level
It's a
10.
high
Starts at level 10,
high-level
goes to
adventure.
20, yeah. It sounds really cool. I already pre-ordered
All
it
right.
at level 20.
When you guys finish this one at 12, we'll just pick up that one.
I thought about it, although I'm not sure a team of bards would be ready for that kind of an adventure, because that's probably pretty heavy combat.
I meant the Shattered Obelisk
Oh,
group.
ooh. Right? Okay, so Gunner's guy. Right.
And really, you think bards couldn't handle the combat?
It's not that well, especially at that level, they probably could. But bards being support
Wishy.
and squishy, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, my favorite class, but
We would need a
there
more
are
diversified
limitations.
party.
Because I
But
have the
a
feeling
silence would take us all out.
Yeah. It's the same problem that I had when Chris was like, "We should
you
make
kidding?
all
Lob would
casters
take
in
us all
Jamie's
out.
game." Like,
All alone would take us all out.
Yeah.
potentially, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, all at once.
I don't know about
To
that.
dinner, maybe.
We have charm person. We have things that lob continually fails. So
That's true.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
I don't know. Gunnar might actually be able to wrestle Bob into submission.
what's Gunner's strength?
Well, his athletics is 8, but his strength is 19.
That's close.
Yeah, Gunner's pretty strong. With the bards,
And
like
once you
it's all
get
about where your second
enlarged-
attribute is. Your second largest attribute can be anywhere. All right, what are you doing? I think.
Well, for Gorm, I suggest
How are we? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I suggest we get him sick and convene in the infirmary and just go out the door there.
Just leave.
Just make our way out the door. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not
Why the
half
hell
bad.
not, right?
Because, I mean, it's only 2 doors.
Unlike Prisoner 13, you won't have to wrestle him out the door.
He could help.
That's,
Yeah,
it's
in the
funny
midst of
because the one
puking
thing you
over
guys
his
haven't really used yet is the map that you have that allows you to just tap and open doors. The magical holographic map.
We haven't really needed to yet.
No, I mean, there's not a lot of locked doors except for the cells, and you can't really activate those. Those are controlled by the control panel in the center chamber. All right. So you guys, I assume, volunteer for food detail again, but you volunteer for the bottom right corner of the cell block instead of the upper right corner.
Prisoner
Two
329.
287.
That's the one.
One,
Yep.
one of the most recent prisoners.
All right, so be careful about 329's food then, because there may or may not be some laxative in that too.
She's just sprinkling it about.
No.
Is that what we're doing? Were you poisoning them now?
I don't know.
No, we can't do it yet.
No, I mean it's gonna be.
That's got to
what,
be the
closer-
last thing we do so we can get out.
Exactly,
with him.
closer to the end of our month or whatever. I don't know.
Well, no, you're not
Actually,
gonna.
it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, you're not gonna wait out your shift. You're just gonna signal the boat and get out of here.
Mm-hmm. Once we're done.
Yep.
Yeah, we need to get the passcode first before we break him, I think. If we're doing it that way, anyway.
Well, we have the passcode.
We have the sigil for
We
the
hope
dog. Yeah.
we hope we have the
don't-
passcode.
Yeah, we don't know if that's what it is or not.
Alright, well then we don't have much more time to give her what she wants then. We need to get Majesty in the warden's office so that he can recreate the book.
Why?
Because that's the only thing she wants.
Right.
And if you guys are
Oh,
still very convinced that the sigil on her arm is not the right one, then what are we gonna do?
I'm not convinced it's not the right one. I'm just not completely convinced that it is the thing that we need. So if we're wrong and then we leave here, then the mission's failed.
Well, you and I are in the kitchen. There's not much we can do.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying we can't just assume that this is what we need and then leave. Like, we need something more concrete.
I guess so, but wouldn't you think the same thing if someone was absentmindedly doing it too? It's a
Right,
tell.
but thinking that's what it is and knowing for certain are two totally different things.
Would. Did Axebreaker give any indication that he knew anything about, like, did they originally set the defenses
No,
on
no,
this?
no, no. She locked it away in a vault, and then put an arcane lock on it that they can't get past.
Okay.
An arcane lock could be a phrase. It could be a symbol drawn in the air or held up in front of it. It could very well be as simple as this tattoo, or it could be a command word. It could be a combination of the two. Whatever she happens to set it as.
Okay.
That would be the perfect move on her part to make it something so simple like that, though.
I mean, it's not a simple design. It took 10 minutes of constant study to figure out how to draw it. It's not like somebody's going to accidentally stumble upon a symbol like that either.
No, but I'm betting here they are thinking that it might be a phrase or a couple of words or, something a bit more.
Right. They've been trying to do the social engineering
Yeah.
hack and like using her birthday and her dog's name and all the other common password things, and it's not working.
Were they able to determine, like, that it, or would it be possible for them to determine if it is just, like, the pattern or also takes the passphrase?
I don't think you'd be able to tell just by studying the spell.
Okay.
Basically, you can either take the gamble, or you can try to press her for more information.
Well, what does the group want to do?
And we are pretty sure that it would take more than a month for them to.
Well, they
mentioned
mentioned Gauntlgrim, and Gauntlgrim is located in Mount Nevermind, which is just north of Neverwinter. So you'd have to get back to Luskan, which is 3 days, then back down to Neverwinter, which is another 3 days, then up to Gauntlgrim, which is probably a couple days travel on foot, and then back to the boat, and then back up to here. So you're looking at least a week, maybe 2. And they would have no way to get in touch with you to tell you that they're back.
I mean, it's not like the cold is bothering me because I'm in the
Right,
kitchen
and
all
you'd have to
day,
continue to
and-
do your jobs for a month,
And I get to cuddle up with a demon at night because,
basically without pay, because the people that signed on for this and are getting paid are actually unconscious and tied up somewhere in Luskan right now.
I suppose we could have the Raven bring the sending stone to them as well.
What are you going to do?
You
Give it
have
a
to
little
catch
purse,
a
put it
raven
around its neck?
first.
Here, buddy,
True.
wait. Here, buddy. Here. Let me put this purse on you. Wait.
Yeah, would it even be able to carry a sending stone, or would it be too heavy?
Now, granted, you can get outside because you've been outside when they do the poop duty.
I'm so glad I don't have to volunteer for
But
that.
you'd still have to lure some birds down, and it's not like you're in a commonly people outside kind of area. There aren't going to be birds necessarily congregating around a tower like this because there's not scraps getting thrown out all the time.
We'll just go out there and go, hey, you too.
Yeah. Look up here. That's a Three Amigos reference for nobody.
I know.
Okay.
I mean, I
Hey, guys!
I knew it was something. Yeah.
Steve Martin up on the wall trying to get them to look up. Hey, you too. Look up here.
Up here. Up here. Up here.
Yeah. He's trying to... it's been so long since I've seen that.
Or I suppose one of us could try to get out to them and get the word back to them and come back here.
Sure. Do you have a sprout wings spell?
Yeah, you assume with all the guards posted outside the tower, if the boat pulls up, that's your one shot. Once the boat pulls up, you better be on it and out of here. It's not like they're going to be able to come back a second time and drop you off again. Unless, like I said before, you come back on another work detail.
Does anyone know how to levitate?
Nope.
We might not even be able to come back for another work detail because they will probably know our faces by now. So if we quote fuck up, then they're not going to let us back.
If you just go AWOL.
Yep. And they might not let the people we knocked out go back either, because, you know. So how do we want to do
How do you want to do this? You killed the adventure. How do you want to do this?
Well, I agree it is risky to go just on this knowledge, but if it is all we need, then it seems like an awful extra risk to try to get that ledger or something.
Yeah, there's always a chance of accidentally blowing your cover the longer you're here, too.
I mean, I think we need more to go on, but if the rest of the party thinks that we have enough, then I'm willing to go along with it.
I wonder if I know of... Are there any fires burning outside?
Not generally.
Okay,
Are there
so
any
no
fires
torches.
burning on the
or-
dance floor?
Okay.
There was a picture, that was a handout, that was the outside of the prison. For some reason, I remember there being, like, some
I
kind
thought
of...
it was just a picture of the tower, though.
Yeah, it looks like there's lights. So there might be, like, a couple signal torches
Lights.
outside
Lights going up and down the elevator.
this picture.
Yeah, I found it.
Okay, fine. I'm just posting it again.
Just wondering if there would be some way I could attract some ravens by burning some meat or something on one of the torches.
That attract ravens.
Yeah, I don't know. It's news to me. Come to the light. No, you're thinking moths.
True. Well, the smell or
These
something,
cats
but
think
yeah.
M&Ms are like treats. No, cats, they're not treats.
Well, they're human
Treats,
treats.
yeah, they're treats for me. Be gone. Away with you.
They're treats for the dog.
Give the puppy chocolate.
All right, so we could just do the fake book, and she falls for it.
I mean, I'm also 100% sure she hasn't seen the ledger, so she doesn't know what it looks like.
Legend? What
And
legend?
honestly, I think the only thing that she's looking for is maybe another prisoner's name. Maybe she knows someone else that's in here. Otherwise, why would she look for it? There's something that she has to tell the outsiders.
Whatever's in the ledger, if she's willing to trade it for the key, then it's going to be worth more to her at least than whatever's left in the vault. It could also mean the vault's getting close to empty at this point.
Yeah, I would guess she has an idea what she's looking for and might sense if it wasn't real, even though she hasn't seen it, but just saying it might be risky.
Well, the thing is, if we make the fake one and she finds it out, then we can just be like, all right, fine, we'll get the real thing.
All right, well, we could try to get the real thing.
You could replicate your 2-hour one and leave it in place of the real thing.
Yeah, but it wouldn't look the same.
Yeah.
It gives off music and glows. She'd be like, wait, my book didn't glow last time I wrote in it.
No, yeah, okay. Because, like, I don't think any of us can recreate things like that, so... I mean, he's a different kind of bard altogether.
He is very, very much a different kind of bard.
Gay bard.
Yay, bard.
Oh, I heard gay bard.
Gay bard. That too. That too.
He's Captain Jack.
He's not gay.
From Doctor Who.
He's omnisexual.
Yeah.
I know which way he swings. It's fine.
All the ways.
Mm-hmm.
Sideways.
All the way around.
Every which way. But loose?
Yes.
No, loose too.
Would think that would be a bad thing.
So if we make the fake one, we present it to her. She knows that it's fake. We can still get her the real thing. It's not like we've lost anything.
No, but they also say the warden rarely comes out of her room. And there's only one guard plus an optional that she really trusts to bring her food and her alcohol.
Well, there's one guard that's always on hand. She'll take another guard as well. But there's one that she...
Hey!
Well, the one that is assigned to help bring the meals, but it's usually a 2-guard detail. So you might be able to get a peek into the room.
Yeah, but unless her ledger says, "Here I am," you might not be able to find it.
Yeah, you'd have to be digging through the desk or whatever.
So, yeah. So now we're going to have to spend a little bit of time getting more information about her, as opposed to information about 13 or 287, and then figure that shit out. So that'll take us another week.
Mm-hmm.
How long have we been here?
3 days now? 4 days?
Oh, okay.
I mean, 2 of you are spending all day long cooking meals and delivering food, and it's also getting tedious. Like,
Pretty
you know,
much.
I mean, sure, just saying a week passes is nothing for us as players, but your characters are doing menial work and talking about having to do menial work for like 2 weeks while you wait for a message to get out or whatever.
Jamie knows what it's like to work in a kitchen.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying that, like, you know, it's easy enough to just say, "Oh, we're gonna work a month while we wait for this message to get out."
Ugh.
How does your
Well-
bird thing work? Is it just the spell, speak with animal?
Yeah.
Oh, let me see.
Yeah, basically I was just trying to think of using survival. Was there some way I could come up with a way to attract an animal close enough that I could...
All right, make a nature. Give me a nature roll.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to streamline this a little bit because I feel like we're running in circles.
Go out there.
All
use
right.
Your best Tarzan voice.
So I'm gonna say with a 17, if you can get a few of the choicest scraps from the kitchen, and if you take garbage duty, and you can break away from the other guards for a minute, you think you might be able to coax down a bird or two. And then it's a matter of what you can get them to agree to.
Okay.
So do you want to try that? We say a day passes and you wind up outside with stinky shit getting thrown in a pile.
I guess I'll ask the others first. Well, should we try that? In which case we probably would be here for 2 weeks. Or should we try the ledger thing first?
I think we should do the ledger thing first.
And do you think, would she trust us after if we gave her the fake one and she, found out?
Give me an insight roll. Those of you that spoke to her. Just your general read on her.
Oof.
You're not sure. She's slippery. She seems to, well, judging from the conversations you had, she's a really good liar. Because if this is the symbol, and it seems like it's at least part of it, for sure, she gave no indication from her words the first conversation that she had any idea what you're talking about. So she's really good at deception. You have to keep in mind, though, you are inside a maximum security prison. If she decides to say something to somebody and the alert level goes up even a little bit, then your chances of getting blown... Whoa, that sounds great. Sounds good. The chances of your cover getting blown become higher. And this is the last place you want to get your cover blown, because then it's just like straight to a cell.
Well, I suppose we could claim that it's in a cipher, but it's not much use to her if we don't have a way to decipher it.
Should we put the laxative in the warden's food?
All right, I'll give you this too. You know that she is distrustful enough that she's not just going to take the book and tell you what she knows. She's definitely going to want to verify what she got first. And if she can't verify it in the courtyard because there's too many guards around, and she waits to get to her cell, the book's just going to disappear anyway. So the ruse is going to be slim at best, unless you can do some really good sweet talking to get her to give up the goods without checking the book first.
Okay, she's gonna want to check the book. How long does she think she's gonna have with this book? Like, we can't let her keep it for...
You basically can't let her open the cover. Because once
even if we get the real one, we can't let her keep it for any, lengthy time.
Well, see, the real one would survive her cell, which is when she would want to sit
True, but
down
would
and
it
read
survive being out of the warden's office for that long?
Probably. It's more than likely just a book.
Right, but that depends on how often the warden looks at it or checks it or adds to it.
That's true. As soon as she notices her book is gone, the alarm's going to go up for sure. It's just a matter of how soon after it disappears that she knows it's gone.
And ledgers aren't necessarily for keeping track of prisoners. Ledgers usually have things to do with money.
Well, in a prison, it's probably going to have a lot to do with comings and goings of prisoners, death days, if that happens. Any items confiscated from certain prisoners would be listed in the ledger, more than likely.
So she could be looking for what they took off of someone else or what they took off of her.
Dates of incarceration, dates of release, dates of when the next trial is coming up.
That could be information to tell people on the outside. Dates of trials coming up.
So she might use the trial to do a breakout or something.
Yeah, so now there could be a lot of things that she wants to look for in that ledger.
But are any of the Council of Absolutes in Arakoa?
What's his name? Watch the movie.
Ah, he's still canonically there.
He's not listed in the adventure here, but I believe the only ones listed are the three that showed up in the movie: the Dragonborn, the human, and the halfling.
So the Arakako was just there to get thrown out the window? Sure, alright.
Yeah. There's like, what, 13 members of the council, but only 3 are ever on hand at any given time? No,
Wow,
there's
Jared
10.
thinks I said Eric Cockroach.
Eric Cockroach. Another name for a Thrycrane?
With wings.
That's right, I
No
already,
cockroaches.
That's
you
my next
say,
character.
Wayne.
I already have a name for my homunculus in Jamie's game. Hello, cat. Alright, lay out a plan.
What if we use the sending stuff? Well, all right. We don't have sending, right?
Just the stones. Oh, yeah, you don't have the sending spell. That's like third level, I think.
All right, yeah. And we have no way to communicate with.
I'm going to entertain Gunner's idea that he thinks he can probably snag a raven or coax a raven down. It's just a matter of convincing it.
How about we just ask him if he thinks that's good enough, and see if we can get a reply.
Get the message out to Varen?
Yeah. He doesn't have to go check it. Just like, hey, this is what we found. Does this sound like what we're looking for? And then he can send one back like, yeah, that I think that'll work.
And then,
or
and then if he does,
there's more to it than that.
yeah, and then it's on him because he told you to go ahead and leave or not.
Well, worth a try.
Yeah.
All right. Well, to
We should have left him with one of the sending stones.
Yeah, right. This will be one of those. What is it?
Hindsight.
One of those moments where you spend a point of something or other and you say, "We had this forethought. we planned this ahead." What is it?
Yeah.
Like Blades in the Dark or whatever.
My
it has that thing
inspiration.
you can do.
Use my inspiration.
Yeah.
Except I don't have any.
All right. Well, since we didn't do that, I'm gonna have you make another nature roll as you're outside, trying to. You see a few birds floating around out over the water, you know, hitting birds or whatever. I mean, fish, and you see other birds waiting to catch those birds, and just there's a little bit of life up here. It's cold, but it's not like birds don't survive in the cold. So go ahead and make me another nature roll, Gunner. Or Majesty, if you're outside too.
A nature roll?
Is Majesty here?
If he wants to take the same duty
I'm
with you.
I'm with you, yes.
Duty.
Duty.
Ugh. As opposed to booty duty.
So Well, specifically, I, I suppose I should have said I would give inspiration first, but I'll kind of ask him. So, if you were going to try to catch a bird or attract a bird, what would you do, Majesty?
Well, I wouldn't be around shit.
But basically, fishing for bardic inspiration, in a sense.
But first, you got to coax it. Have we seen any birds?
Yeah,
like,
there's
when we were
a
out.
few birds around. I'm not gonna assume that there's not. I was assuming it's like too cold, but then I did a quick Google search on like ravens in areas and stuff like that, and they survive in any climate. So I would assume there's enough activity outside that they occasionally can catch something from somebody. All right, you don't need the inspiration with that roll. You can you fling a couple crumbs out, and you attract seagulls for sure. And you spot a couple ravens. Does it have to be a raven, or would a seagull work? Because you can get seagulls for sure.
Holy man.
Are the seagulls or ravens bigger?
Seagulls are bigger.
Seagulls are way bigger.
Yeah, they're big.
Okay.
You get a
Big
pelican.
and annoying.
A pelican comes flying down.
Albatross.
Okay, now swallow this.
Did you like? Are you? What are you putting? Like, what are you bundling up? I'm gonna say you can seal it
Okay.
up in some wax paper, tie it tight with a string. But what is it that you've got exactly? Sending stone and the design
Yeah,
and a note,
yeah.
and it's a spell to talk to the bird.
Yeah, so, well, I guess it would be suspicious to cast a whole ritual, so I'll just cast it as normal.
It would definitely be suspicious to cast a ritual. In fact, I want a deception roll just for your casting without the prisoners or, the other guard that's outside with you guys to notice. And I'm assuming that Majesty's running distraction duty, keeping the guard talking.
Look this way. Or,
Yeah. Hey, you.
hey, I can't get my feet warm. How do you guys keep your feet warm? Got any good tricks?
Wiggle your
You
toes.
can roll again. I'm giving you advantage because Majesty's distracting.
Okay, thank you.
Wah!
Well, Gunnar is all or nothing.
Yeah, he is. All right. So a bird is looking at you like you spoke to it, and it's just like the head snaps around like, wait, did you just did you just speak to me? Excuse me?
The fuck you say?
Yeah. Hey, what now? Hey,
I said seagulls.
hey, I'm flying here.
I said seagulls. Stop it now. I have some meat for you.
You know that seagulls are the worst, right? We poke your knees.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway.
Mine?
Yeah, mine? No, yeah. What do you want?
Oh, if you take a message to someone for me, I can feed you a meal, and I kind of jiggle the meat at him.
What do I look like?
Okay, Shaki.
A messenger pigeon? Make a persuasion roll. I'm feeling like the animals you talk to in Baldur's Gate. They just, ugh. Ugh.
Oof.
You want me to do what now? You want me to carry that? Where? To some place where it's like not as nice as this nice place? What? What?
Oh, it's a nicer place, in fact.
What do you got for me? Because your sweet words ain't good enough. In fact,
Well, I've
I
got
need a
this
handful of them
meat.
crumbs right now just for talking to you.
Fine, I'll give him some
Nom nom
and
nom nom nom
say,
nom 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 nom.
and then I'll take out. If I can, I'll take out the note and real quick scribble on. Also, feed the seagull, and say, if you go to bring these things to that ship and drop them off, I'm sure they can feed you as well.
Feed me to who? I don't trust you, buddy.
I love that seagulls are
No.
Italian now.
They're Italian New York.
yeah, I'm kind of thinking like New York seagull.
No, I mean,
The barbarian in my newbie game sometimes when he bounces between accents, but
At least
he's a half-orc barbarian, and he keeps going back to a Beach Boy surfer.
Oh, nice. That thing looks really heavy, buddy. And you know, I got a bum wing. It's really hard to fly when I'm carrying stuff. Gonna have to be more worth it to me than just another handful of crumbs, you know?
I'm sure they can give you more than a handful of crumbs.
Who's they? Who are we talking
The people
here?
on that ship.
Which ship? The one that's out in the harbor over there?
Yes.
The one that's just sitting there for like a lot of nights? Just sitting? Being all weird?
Yeah.
Make another persuasion roll.
Though I have another. How close is this seagull now?
I mean, he's right in front of you. He's on the ground. We picked at the seeds. You want to try to grab him? He's close enough that you could make a grab, but...
Hey, he's squawking here.
Yeah, I'm squawking here. That's a good one. I like that.
Well, I'm considering that, given I have other approaches than persuasion.
Majesty, you see Gunnar feeding the seagull that's yelling at him and like strutting back and forth and yelling at him some more. It doesn't look like it's going well. Ooh, now it might be going.
Totally acting like someone from New York.
Yeah.
Gunnar rips off another piece of meat and kind of jiggles it right in front of the seagull. See, I am sure they have more like this, but more like a whole pigeon for you.
I don't know. I don't know if I trust you. Alright. Listen, tell you what. I'll do this. I'll bring this note. I'm coming right back. And you best be out here. Give me more of them treats.
Gunnar flirts better with the seagull than he does the chicks.
I was just gonna say that.
Well, all right then. I'm guessing I wouldn't have time to go get some meat, but
Probably.
yeah, you can have the rest of this, and I can have some more for you tomorrow.
Tomorrow? But I'm still hungry now. Alright, I'll give you one more persuasion roll. Not terribly difficult. You've got food still on you. I'll give you advantage. I'll give you advantage on this one.
Oh wow, that 23 wasn't enough.
It's just,
Tell him you'll give him an
it's a
Alka-Seltzer.
skill challenge.
Ah, I see.
They love Alka-Seltzer.
Now the
yeah, it
DM
makes them
speaks like the
swell up
seagull.
real big.
Yeah, the seagull said, "It's a skill challenge, buddy."
Make a dexterity save. As I grab him.
He says, "I'll make you a counter offer tomorrow, but you gotta feed my buddies."
Hmm. Very well. I shall feed you and your coterie.
Ooh,
Do you count as a murder, or a true?
if you don't bring food, there'll be a murder.
Wow, wow.
All right, give me this package.
That's true. I could ask the ravens.
But I don't recognize faces, so I'm just dropping it to the first guy on the ship I see. Just saying.
Were there any dwarves on the ship other than Axebreaker?
You have no idea. You haven't been on that ship.
Yeah,
Ah, okay.
we were on the official
Yep.
prison ship.
Okay.
This is gonna be funny the next time we're in an area and Gunnar just makes some sort of weird noise and we have this whole flock of geese or seagulls just coming to his rescue.
Okay, well, look for one of the shorter people.
Look, buddy, I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. All right. You want me to do this or not?
Fine. I think I'll scribble real quick on the note, bring to Axebreaker, and then give the package to him.
Does it have instructions on how to use the sending stone, or did you not include that?
How big is the sending stone?
It's not that terribly large, I don't think. Fist-sized rock, maybe.
If it needs instructions, then yes, I will include instructions on it.
All right. So the bird sticks his beak, the bottom part of his beak, into the rope on your little tied bundle, and then he says, "Don't forget," or he says, "Sorry, don't forget."
I won't.
And then he takes off with a little running start, and you see him run to the edge of the cliff, and then he drops away from view. And then there's this moment of hesitation when you think maybe the parcel was too heavy and he just fell to his death. And then you see him kind of arc up over the edge of the cliff out toward the ocean.
And he doesn't have a bum wing at all, does he?
Did you make a duplicate drawing of the image? You know, just in case this one winds up in the ocean?
I would think so.
Well, he's memorized it, hasn't he?
That's true. That is true. So you're
I certainly will now if I haven't yet.
one of the prisoners like, "Hey, I'm shivering. Can we go in?"
Are you done yet?
Yeah. Buckets are empty. Take me back to my cell. This is freezing.
Jeez, these prisoners. Do you believe them?
I know, right? Says the other guard. Ingrates. Give them a nice warm roof over their head and 3 meals a day, and they complain about a little cold.
Yeah, they don't even have dire wolves out here.
And you head back in, and you put the guys away, the prisoners back in their cells, and you head back to the dining area, and an hour passes, and why can't I remember Brian's? Euryxius. You suddenly get a message, or the other summoning stone starts to kind of vibrate in your pocket.
Okay.
You get a call, mate.
You get a 25-word message or less saying, "Note received," or "Item received, looks promising, potentially mission accomplished." I think that's enough words so they can say, "Do you wish to wait for verification?"
I'll have to convene with the others before I.
Okay, you can make
Get
your
back
one
to-
response, and then that's it for the day for that pair of stones.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'll tell him that I need to talk to the others
Okay.
about it, and then get back to him the next day.
Okay. I mean, for all you know, if they have mages or anybody on board that can relay the image through a more complex spell or teleportation, it may be sooner than later.
Yeah.
So we'll say the rest of the day plays out as normal. You go about your business and you do regular duties, and you don't act out of the ordinary. Do either of you try to interact with Prisoner 13, or do you keep a distance for now?
Keep our distance.
Okay. All right. So the next day,
I will.
go ahead.
I will feed the seagull as promised.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say on the next day, you take that duty again. You make sure to have a big handful. The other guard kind of makes jokes that you're like taking up some. He makes a comment like, "What are you, a druid now? You really get along with these seagulls, man." It's
Well, they're useful when you need your enemies disposed of.
he just kind of looks at you like, okay.
I'm sorry, did I say that out loud?
You sure did. You sure
When you
did.
need some company.
You a bird guy when you were back at home, not doing guard duty?
Yeah, you could say that.
Ah. Everybody's got a hobby, I guess. Me, I collect snails.
Hmm. Do you talk to the snails?
No, they don't talk.
Hmm.
You weirdo.
You just have to know how to talk to them.
You know what I'd really like to get, though? Just between you and me? A flail snail.
Ooh,
Aren't they big?
those are nice.
Very big, yeah.
Yes. They're things that you encounter in dungeons.
You could
Yeah,
probably ride
and the
it then.
seagull comes back, and he has like 6 other seagulls with him. Do you bother casting Speak with Animals? Because if you don't, he's squawking at you something fierce. You just have no idea what he's
I
saying.
suppose I will, just in case.
He's like, "That's it? That's all you got? We gonna make this
Well,
a regular
you did-
thing?"
You didn't tell me how many to expect. Also, I don't have anything more for you to carry now, but
Well, I hope you got what you wanted.
I did, thank you. I hope you did as well.
It's a start. And then you never see him again. But also, Euryxius gets another message. Says, "This is Varen. My agents tell me this is very likely what we needed."
All right, we gotta get that other guy out of here.
Yeah. All right, I'll let the others know, and we should be able to get out of here relatively soon.
We're ready. Well, he doesn't respond again because he can't.
No.
Right.
Should we, so we, just to make sure, we are not planning on staying in here?
Well, I mean, we can stay long enough to get your buddy out or whatever.
Right. I mean, for them trying it.
No, that doesn't sound like we need to now.
Good.
You've passed the buck, so if at this point, if it's not what they need, they've
On them.
yeah, exactly. They've told you that they think it's good, so exactly. So how do you want to do this other part? I'm pretty sure I already have the basics. You poison him, make him sick to his stomach.
Can we all convene in the hospital area?
we get out of here.
Oh,
You get
Oh, but we only have the one sending stone, so we can't communicate now.
Well,
for
yeah.
the ship, all you need to do is like flash a light out.
No, no,
over
no,
the...
no. I mean, like,
Oh, between each
as
other.
far as when to meet in the hospital and stuff.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
but you
guess
know when
whoever-
mealtime is.
I guess whoever fakes being sick, if we get there ahead of time, we can just wait.
And then are we going to need to kind of demonstrate that we know how to do this first aid to get on infirmary duty?
I don't think it's a duty so much as just, oh, this prisoner's sick, I'll take him.
Yeah, because it hasn't happened since you've been in here that anyone's gotten sick.
Okay.
So you're not entirely sure what happens.
Okay.
Because you've been such good cooks up till now.
Hmm.
Alright, so mealtime
Well-
rolls around. Do you just poison the one, or do you poison multiples? Because if you poison multiples, you will have multiple people going to the infirmary.
Yeah, no, we just want to poison the one that's destined for his cell.
Okay. So you load it up, and are you guards volunteering for food duty again?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we make sure it gets to the right person.
Okay. So you take the plates. They very clearly labeled it. They make sure to point out to you again, just in case you didn't get it right the first time. This is his. Even though it has the number on the plate, just remember, this is... Because it's very important that this one goes to the right place. And as you bring it over to his cell, he... it's big Sturley... butt chin, beard guy. Takes his food, kind of gruffly looks at it. Like, this food's terrible, right? One of these days, he looks at you like, because he thinks you're just part of the man. He's like, if I ever get out of here. And then he kind of goes and sits in the corner and starts eating. And you go off, like you do for 30 minutes, you do the rounds and you wait. And as you're coming back, he is like doubled over. And he's holding his stomach a little bit. And he's like, oh. He throws up on the cell floor.
Oh, we got someone sick over here.
He's yelling toward the center tower.
Yep.
Yeah, hold on. You hear over the intercom system. And there's a lever flips and the cell bars go up. And you go in and grab him. And
Yep, but I can't lift him, so
whatever his alias is.
Sea Breeze, get over here.
Kind of hoist him up onto your shoulders.
Yeah. Try to get... I would have beforehand told him, try to get him close enough to outside the anti-magic field that I won't be glitching with the disguise.
Right.
Well,
Grabbing
guess
him.
what? Because I am at a disadvantage wearing heavy armor
Yep.
for my ability checks. So,
Well, make an athletics with disadvantage. Or Gunnar can go in there.
I will kind of encourage him with inspiration.
Oh, all right.
You've got this, Majesty.
Oh. Oh, yeah, he can't get him up on his arm. Not with a 9.
And I'm guessing there's no way I could aid him
Not from out here.
from out here. Okay. Okay, Gunnar will say to him, okay, distract them somehow, I guess. I'll handle this.
are there any other guards nearby?
There are not any guards near here, no.
All right.
The guards
so
in the tower, you
there's-
can presume, are looking in this direction, but they're far enough away. The hat of disguise is only changing your face, really, not
It's
the
face.
outfit.
Yeah. You're only really hiding yourself from him, aren't you?
I guess, but it would look odd if there's like graphical glitches.
Yeah,
so-
but they're pretty far away, and your back will be to them.
Yeah. Okay, I'll make sure that
I assume you're wearing the actual uniform and not your own
Yeah.
regular stuff.
yeah, so I'll make sure Gorm's face is looking down or something
well,
at the time.
he's very distracted at the moment with retching, and
Okay.
he looks really sick. You're almost concerned maybe they overdid it.
Okay, yeah, so I will, while he's distracted, I will kind of grab him and get him out of
Okay.
the danger
Make
zone. Yeah.
Make an athletics.
Okay. Ugh.
No, I mean, it's not a hard task, so your DC would be 10. So Majesty was close. He goes in, tries to lift him, fails, and then realizes he's been inspired, and he gets that little burst of... No, not enough.
Nope.
Not quite. I know you said I'm good, but I'm not that good. But yeah, you hoist him up on your shoulder. Majesty can provide support on the other side to stabilize him. And you hobble your way toward the exit. Now, I do want you to make me a deception roll, Gunner.
Okay.
And I'm going to give him a perception with disadvantage if I can find his damn stats, because I can't open them because Roll20 is being stupid. Nope. Sorry, looks like your session has expired. Oh, shut up. I can't roll for him, so I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to roll 2 d20s. All right. He glances at you for a moment as you're still technically inside the anti-magic field. There's a flicker of like almost recognition, but then he doesn't seem to act on it as you go through the door and you head toward the infirmary. Over the intercom from the center chamber area, you hear, "Is he all right?"
He
Yeah,
should be. He's there's a big mess in here. We're gonna have to clean this up.
I'll get a detail in here now. We'll get it cleaned up before you get him out of the infirmary.
Chemical leak. Very big. Stay away.
Right back
Very
here.
caustic.
Situation. How are you?
Fine, everything's fine. How are you?
Shit conversation anyway.
Dead end conversation.
All right.
Joey, we got company.
Yep. All right. So you lead him. I'm gonna grab the tokens. You lead him to the infirmary. Now, what are you other two doing? How are you getting there?
I was thinking wait till towards the end of the meal just to kind of give the poison time to do what it needs to do and get them time to like kind of get there.
Okay.
Isn't
One
it
of
going
us
to take
needs
us
to
more time to get there because we're further away?
Well, you don't. I mean, you know where it is. You might technically need a guard to take you there officially, because once you start walking those halls, there's that suspicion level. So, are you faking getting sick, or are you actually going to take some of your poison and see what happens?
I think one of us is gonna fake it.
Okay. All right.
You want me to, or do you want to? How's your performance?
Well, my charisma's a 19, maybe better than yours.
Is
Well, what is
your...
your...
Are you at the level where you can't roll less than a 10? What level is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Silver Tongue. When you make a Charisma Persuasion or a Charisma Deception check, you can treat a d20 roll of 9 or lower as a 10.
That's not
It's...
performance, though.
Oh, that's Persuasion Deception, right.
Right.
What do you have for
Like,
persuasion
Well,
performance?
per chance, if I do a Persuasion roll or a Performance roll,
Deception's going to come in if you have to tell a guard that you're sick. If
You know, +6, so you're going to do better than I will.
if you get stopped in the hallway.
which is funny because I have an 8 in
Is
Persuasion.
anyone else having trouble with Roll20 tonight?
No?
No.
Nope.
No.
Weird. I've had to relog like 6 times.
Oh, wow.
Anytime I need to open a window, I have to relog. Because it keeps telling me my session's timed out.
I'm gonna pretend that I have just twisted my ankle and you need to carry me.
That could be easier than faking vomiting?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's go with it.
Alright, so that would definitely be deception then.
I'm going to catch my foot on the leg of the table and fall over.
Alright, make a deception roll. You do this in full view of everybody in the cafeteria. Oh, my arm, my leg. Ow. So...
Okay, so that's
So 18.
technically what, 2 points higher? No.
No, the lowest
No.
you can roll is a 10. What's your plus? Plus 8?
Yeah.
So the lowest you can roll is an 18. Oh, my leg.
Ow.
Yeah, I know, right?
Nope.
I
My
like,
ankle.
I
Ow, my ankle!
Sorry, I like eloquence parts.
I'm like, oh, are you all right? Oh, here, let me help
For,
you.
for a second, you think she really twisted her ankle.
I don't think I can put my full weight on it.
But I better get you to the infirmary.
All right, so as you step
Wink,
out
wink.
into the hall,
I don't trust anyone else to get me there.
oh, as you go out into the kitchen and then out through the doors into the hallway, there is a 20% chance that a patrol is wandering by. Nope, there is no patrol wandering by. As you run up the hall toward the infirmary, you do not run into any guards. You got, I mean, it's not a hard roll. When you get to the infirmary, you see Gorm. He's sitting on one of the gurneys there. He's really pale. There's like dried vomit in his beard. His eyes are kind of glassy and bloodshot. And it looks like he's lost a few hit points from whatever it was you fed him. And you see the other two. I don't know what you guys are doing. Waiting for them to show up, I guess.
Alright,
Yeah.
so how are we signaling? Did we signal?
He's like, "What did you feed me? This stuff is disgusting.
I'm sorry!
Is this what the sword coasters call fair and good treatment of prisoners? Ugh.
How else would we have gotten you out, okay? It'll wear off in a minute.
What are you talking about?
What?
Does this count as a poison?
Yes.
Okay, Gunnar
All right.
puts his hand on him and then says, sorry for that. You should feel better now.
Who are... His color comes back to his face. And he looks at... Who are you people? Guards don't use magic around here. What is going on?
We'll answer that in a minute, but first, remember when you said when you get out of here? That's going to be sooner than you think.
Kind of looks towards you, and there's like this hint of a smirk spreading across the side of his mouth. He says, "Who sent you here?"
We can explain later. Let's get out of here.
Dude, signal, let's go!
I mean, seriously, do you want to stay here?
I certainly don't.
Well, then
Are-
shut up.
We're in the middle of
Are
nowhere.
we
Do you have a plan?
Of course, we have a
Oh.
plan.
Yes.
We do. Do you have the floating ready?
The what?
Yeah, I do.
Am I going to have to get you out of your armor first for that?
Yes, I have to take my armor off.
Oh yeah, let's just toss that
What
over the
is
side
going
first.
on here? He's looking around. You know how cold it is out there, right?
I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna say, okay, I promise you will understand in a minute.
I'm going
I
to now
swear.
again, kind of generous to you. It's also getting later, so I'm going to assume that you had the forethought to stick your cold weather gear in like the bag of holding,
Yeah,
because
I
you,
think we had all of our clothes in the bag of holding.
because you wouldn't have your cold weather outfit as you're hobbling down the hall to go to the infirmary. You'd look like you're going outside. They'd be really suspicious.
We have the gear for that stored away.
Right, and then you, as a group, head out the front door. Now, how
Yep.
are you signaling the ship? It's probably what time of day which meal would you have gone? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
Dinner probably, which
So
means I
that's a little bit
could
darker out. Okay.
I
Yeah.
could cast light.
No, I mean it's a bright light. It's a point of light, and it's dark outside. So if the ship is watching, and you presume that they are, then you
I mean, it's either
can
that or
hope.
Eldritch Blast.
You can't see it because it's dark out, so you can't see the ship if they're out there.
And we used the sending stone for today already.
No, this is a new day because I think you waited the next day, right? No, yeah. Well, all right, that's up to you. Did you get the message in the morning that this is good enough? So was it that evening that you did the poisoning? Yeah, I think it is. So yeah, the sending stone's
I
perfect.
was thinking so.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And we didn't have a pre-established way of signaling to them.
It's just shine a light. They said,
Oh, all right.
and they would.
I mean, I'll cast it. Let's go.
All right. So you cast
I
light.
mean, I have dancing lights.
That'll work.
Let's just get down to the.
Although light is a cantrip
dock.
anyway.
As
so,
you are
like,
outside, for dramatic purposes, somebody on the watchtower shouts down, "Hey, who goes there?" As the light
Your mom.
lights out over there. And then you cast Featherfall and push Gorm over the
Yep.
side and jump after him.
Actually, before we jump, I want to cut the line of the elevator.
Ooh. Okay. A little sabotage action. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. So you have disabled the elevator. I'm not going to make you roll anything for that. It's easy to screw things up. It's harder to fix it.
And you cut it after we got down, right? Not before.
Well, they're feather falling.
Oh,
you
we're
don't
not
need
taking the elevator.
Oh, we're feather falling?
Yeah, you're just jumping. Because the lever for the
Fancy.
elevator is inside one of the guard posts.
Oh, okay.
So you'd have to actually go in to activate it. This is bypassing a little potential snag. This Featherfall
Yeah.
covers 5 people.
Yep. Exactly 5 people.
Oh, good thing Nate didn't come. All right, and you leap over the side. Gorm's like, I don't know what this is, but I like it. Woohoo! And you go gently gliding down. I'm going to say straight down so you don't accidentally float out to sea into the icy, freezing cold water.
Sure, confess.
I've been playing Assassin's Creed Rogue a lot, and it takes place in the North Atlantic, so if you're in the water for more than like 10 seconds, the sides of the screen start to ice over, and your health goes down. So I can imagine that's what happens when you land in this water. But by the time you get down, because it's a slow fall, right, and it's a 160-foot drop, so by the time you land, you are just seeing the outline of a black shape on the water approaching you. And as you run to the edge of the dock, the ship is pulling up. And as that's happening, the lights of the tower turn red, and you hear a blaring alarm. And a few guards are coming running out the front door. and a couple arrows are kind of shooting in your general direction, but no one's really accurately hitting you or even trying to hit you, it seems like. And there's like a bullhorn sounding voice saying, "Halt! Stop! Do not go any further under the penalty of the Lord's Alliance." Blah, 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 jargon. As you basically pay no attention and you jump into the boat, which you are greeted by a few dwarves. They look suspiciously at the fact that there's 5 of you instead of 4, and that it's not Prisoner 13 with you. But they don't ask questions. They quickly raise the sails, turn the ship, and start heading back toward Luskin. You leave the flashing lights of the prison behind you as you go over the horizon, heading 3 days south. Varen is aboard the ship, and he kind of looks at Gorm, and he's like, "Who's this?"
Oh, someone I was sent to retrieve.
And Gorm kind of like walks up as this conversation is going on, and he says, "Indeed. Why did you break me out? Do not assume that, or do not take my suspicion for ingratitude. However, I don't know you. You don't know me. Someone must have put you up to this."
Well, first, it was Ingrid and Leaf, and second, you do know me. You just don't know you know me.
Oh god, he's gonna find out eventually. Just take it off.
And Gunnar kind of hesitates a moment and then says, and then he takes off the hat and says, "Forgive the deception, but I couldn't have you making a scene up there.
He kind of does a
You're
double take.
free,
Gunnar, is
free
that
to make
you?
a scene here."
Oh, I'm gonna make a
yes.
scene, all right. It looks like there's a flicker of a momentary rage. There's that, like, the shoulders go back and you feel like the arms gonna get cocked into punching position, but then he takes a breath, holds it for a moment, and then he just walks away. Baron's like, "What's that all about? I take it you have some history with that fellow."
You could say that, yeah.
Well, we're gonna get that sigil back to Gauntlgrim as quick as we can. I had a message sent to my agents, and they suspect that it should be what we need. So I'd consider this mission accomplished. We're gonna sail.
Let's hope it is.
We're gonna stop in Luskin, pick up Benthra was her name, and we can drop off your friend, and then we're heading to Neverwinter. Assuming that's where you want to go. That's where we're headed. That's where you'll get paid.
Yeah.
Very good. So you sail the 2 days. Gorm kind of stays away from you for the most part. It seems like he's sorting through some things. Maybe. Like, occasionally you'll make eye contact across the ship, and it looks like he wants to come over and punch you or something, but then he's like, "What good's that gonna do me?"
Would you like me to talk to him?
And so he kind of stays away. And you arrive back in Luskin. Was this the tavern I was using? I think this was the tavern I was using.
Oh look, I'm already here.
I know, right? And there's like a million people inside the tavern, and they're just...
Yeah, this looks like the one.
Yep. Because I have all the people like lined up outside that used to be inside.
Oh.
So I'm just throwing them in at random places. Why not?
Is this a tabaxi?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know. I can't see it.
No, it's just somebody with a cloak on their or thing on their face. Oh, are you not able to see? Oh, you're in there. That's why.
Oh yeah, now I see. Okay.
Ta-da!
Varen is going to wait aboard the ship. He gives you a few hours to go in and do whatever you need to do before they set sail for Neverwinter. I think I'm going to actually stop, because if you're going to have any detailed conversation with the rest of the Burt Whistle clan, I want to have a little time to plan it out in my own, what kind of things they might want to say to have a meaningful conversation and not like a 15-minute half-assed conversation.
It's good. Same.
Yeah, but
Suppose that'll give Chris time to figure out what he wants to say.
but you did accomplish the mission, so I will give you level 5, and you can find out the aftermath next time. You do catch up with Amos. He has a bunch of bite marks up and down his right and left arm. I could have just said both arms. I don't know why I had to specify right and left.
His center on two.
You can't see his center arm. They look like sturge bites. And there's a cage on the table that is vibrating because it's got a blanket over it, so you can't see what's under it. And he looks.
Training's been going
And
horribly.
he looks a little dismayed, like maybe it's not going as smoothly as he was hoping. That's what happens when you put your character on autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
You got to roll your own dice. All right, but we will stop the stream there. You can level up, and good heist. It went pretty clean, but this is the perfect group for this particular heist.